back, or I'm getting ready to unite the sign onto the rootstock, and I made my cut on that, and now I'm going to make my cut on this, and I want to go fairly close to the base of the plant. I hold it back with these two fingers, and then this I start here, and I want to slightly go into this, and I want to go in sort of as an angle. So I don't want to just skim it. I want to go into this thing and have an angle to accept my sign material. So here's my cut, and I'm going slightly into it. And this is, you got to get kind of good at this. Okay, that feels pretty good, and you can sort of see how I've gone into it. But I'm about halfway through maybe, but I still got a good flap here. Okay, so that's what I'm going to use to insert my sign material on, and I want the two tissues to unite, and I want the same height. You can sort of see how the tissue, both the xylem, the cambium and the phloem sort of come together, the green on green. Okay, that's the most important part, and that's what I'm going to have here. So so I push it down, make sure I've got that good size. I sized it up nicely. You can kind of look at it. It's pretty well sized. I got a little bit up at the top that is not covered by the flap, but now it's pretty covered. Okay, so I'm going to take that and wrap it with a rubber band and really bring it, cinch it up together. So I got the two tissues, or I got all the tissues aligned so they can grow together. So start at the bottom. This is the hardest part. With I used to teach this and to students and stuff that wanted to learn grafting, and this was like the hardest thing I think for them to get, was the rubber band thing, and especially this cinching down at the bottom. And you got to keep your fingers on the thing the whole time. You kind of go around, Lily, shush, kind of around, and you're making sure nothing's moving. You're keeping the tissues close together. You're going from the bottom to the top, and this is a 5-inch rubber band, so I've got a couple inches, and so you want to make sure you kind of cover it all up. Keep going, and then when you only got about that much rubber band, about 2-3 inches left, you tie it off. You leave your index finger in there, that's the hole, and you're going to bring the rabbit up into the hole. I think that's a saying or something. And you bring the rabbit up into the hole, and there you go. And there's your successful graft of the plant.
And so if you did 100 of these, how many would survive for the next year?
Well, when I did 100 of these back when I started, you know, back when my hair was black and everything worked, I was getting maybe 70%, something like that. But 30 years on, I'm probably getting close to 95, 99%. And not only is this important, but the pre-care, having the right size rootstocks for the right size sign material, having everything size appropriately, and then the aftercare. I mean, this is just a minute or two of work. It's everything else. You got to put two more years into this thing before you can sell it, almost. So it's aftercare is real important too. Slowly whittling. So what happens here is, okay, you got a graft, and after about 2-3 months, this starts to grow. You start to whittle off the rootstock. First thing you would do is cut off any new growth, leave the older growth there, and so you would hope that this thing starts to break and grow, and the more this grows, the more you take this away. So eventually, it's there. This is your plant. It's going to be about that much bigger, and this rootstock is going away. at least the top of the rootstock. So basically you got a plant that's half something, else, and then half something else in the root or the root. So basically you've got two different genetics there. You got this top, and you got the root system. But this is all you're going to see. This is the expression. This is what you're after. The growth characteristics of this cultivar. And the cultivar on this one, I think, did I tell you what the name was? Tiny Rations is the cultivar. And that was selected out by a guy by the name of Jerry Morris, who's a pretty famous plantsman, lives down in Denver. So, and he selected this thing out probably 40 years ago. I'm not real sure.